Hey YouTube, hey Young and the Restless fans, the fallout from Nice, France, and everything that happened at Cains' summer home, formerly Aristotle Dumas, and of course with the thrilling and shocking climax that we saw, and now the characters are going to have to begin the difficult task of picking up the pieces and try to get on with their lives after all of the action and tragedy that took place. So let's get into this summer's chilling mystery whodunit and everything that happened, who survived, and who didn't. So, of course, Damien was the first victim, and there were suspicions about who did it. Many of the characters pointed the finger at Cain. After all, Cain had been the mysterious figure behind the Aristotle Dumas mystery, and the characters had no reason to trust Cain. Nick thought Cain was the culprit, and Cain thought it was Nick. They were both pointing the finger at each other. And Nick found the weapon planted in his bathroom. Nick thought Cain was trying to frame him. And then Cain ordered Carter, Cain's assistant, to place Nick and Sharon under house arrest, holding them against their will. Cain thought that Nick was out to get him. Of course, Sharon was able to pick the lock, and then there was a struggle that ensued when Nick fought the guard. Nick was injured and Sharon went for help. Sally was able to use her first aid expertise to patch Nick up. And of course, Victor was outraged that Cain was holding Nick and Sharon captive, and Nikki came close to signing over Chancellor. Cain felt that he could use Nick as leverage to get the company, but it didn't work, as Nikki wanted to see that Nick was safe before she signed anything over. But Nick and Sharon's escape with the help of Sally and Billy ruined Cain's attempt to grab the company. Spoilers say Victor teaches Cain a hard lesson, and we'll see that today when Victor and Cain argue on the train. Victor will tell Cain no one wants him in Genoa City. But Cain has been buying up real estate in Genoa City, and we know that Cain has a plan. And Cain is sticking to that plan. He told Amanda that everything that happened in Nice will haunt him, but that nothing will deter him from his ultimate goal. Cain has a vision to conquer all the elite companies and take them over, all the elite companies of Genoa City. Cain has made enemies in the Newmans, but he's also made allies, and Billy, Phyllis, and Amanda is sticking by him too. Also, Cain is in the clear as the investigation is concluded after Carter's confession. Cain and Nick were pointing the finger at each other about Damien, but it was Cain's assistant, Carter, who turned out to be the real culprit, the instigator of the crimes. And we saw Carter's flashback too, where he detailed the steps in his diabolical plan to eliminate Damien because he thought Damien was an obstacle in Cain's attempt to reunite with Lily. Carter acted on his own without Cain's knowledge or approval, but Carter thought he was doing his boss a favor. "After all you've done for me, I wanted to do something for you," Carter told Cain. But Cain said, "I never wanted this." And we saw the harrowing events that took place, Carter holding Lily hostage and Chance taking action. A struggle ensued, and Chance was mortally wounded. Chance died a hero, saving Cain from Carter. Nina loses her son in Chance, and Amy loses her son in Damien. So the events that took place in Nice this summer whodunit mystery certainly has left a devastating impact, losing Damien and Chance and Carter as well. Also, Nick was seriously injured too. So a lot of action took place and characters died. Soon Amy is going to learn the horrible news about her son's demise. We saw Lily tell Nate over the phone, and spoilers say Nate shares bad news with Amy. Amy's going to be crushed and also in denial that Damien is gone, so we'll see some powerful scenes when Amy finds out. And I want to point out that Connor Floyd, who played Chance, is going to play Chad DiMera on Days of Our Lives, Billy Flynn's former role on the show. So it's going to be fun to see Connor over on Days. But back with Cain and Victor on the train, they're going to have a tense showdown, and Victor's going to give Cain a warning, but Cain's going to be defiant, telling Victor if it's a fight he wants, it's a fight he'll get. But Victor is no stranger to a fight. Victor will tell Cain he's his worst nightmare, and Victor's going to warn Cain to stay away from Genoa City and his family. But Cain's been buying up real estate in Genoa City. We know Cain has an ambitious plan to take over all of the major companies in the city. Cain also isn't giving up on that reunion with Lily, although Lily has made her feelings clear to Cain that she's not interested. But we know Lily still cares about Cain. She expressed fear for Cain when Carter was pointing the weapon at him. And we know there's plenty of romantic history between Cain and Lily, so anything's possible. But Cain has an ambitious plan, and Billy and Phyllis are on board, as well as Amanda. And Billy told Phyllis that he wants Chancellor more than ever now, out of respect for Chance's memory. And he told Phyllis he needs her help with that. So Cain has his team, and he also has Holden back at home in Genoa City. And we know Holden had an assignment to get close to certain important people, and we'll see how that comes into play in future episodes. Cain has his allies, but he also has powerful enemies, namely Victor, and Nate might end up blaming Cain too for what happened to Damien. But the summer Whodunit mystery was thrilling and memorable. That hedge maze set was great, and even though we lost some characters, it was a fun, suspenseful story that brought Cain back into the cast of characters. There was suspense, mystery, and plenty of action. Also, Nick and Sharon kissed, so could we be looking at a romantic reunion now for Nick and Sharon? Spoilers say things get complicated for Nick and Sharon, so we'll see how they figure out their relationship status moving forward. But this summer mystery Whodunit was a lot of fun despite the tragedy and the loss of characters, but now the action will shift back to Genoa City. Cain is back. He'll be at war with Victor. In a lot of ways, this story is just beginning. Cain has allies but plenty of enemies, and he'll face plenty of judgment. The characters return home now after their ordeal in France, but they'll still have to deal with all of the fallout, all of the consequences, and plenty of compelling drama, and all of the corporate intrigue that awaits them in Genoa City. So don't miss a moment. We'll keep the updates coming. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Watch The Young and the Restless, CBS Daytime and Paramount Plus, and I'll see you in the next video.